It's Travis Greene coming through just to share with you all what God has placed in my heart and my spirit, and I hope it bless you. Today was an amazing day. Every Thursday I have the privilege of going out to University of North Carolina, Charlotte campus, and just spreading love, spreading hope to college students there. We do it at 1 and 2 o'clock. KJ Scriven, myself, and a few other people, we go out every Thursday, and Have Life Church provides lunch, and so we call it Inspiration and Lunch. Every Thursday we do it at 1 and 2 o'clock. Today was special. It was, students just kept coming. It was like over 50 students, and we had 3 different waves of students. And the last wave, something very interesting happened. They came up and we were talking about relationships, and somehow it took like a spin, and we ended up being out there for over 4 hours today. It was crazy. But I noticed as I was speaking about just the hope of God and his love for his people, you can just feel the weight of his presence just really just hovering over us. And so I started talking about how much he loves us, and how he doesn't love us anymore now that we're Christianese and Christianized than he did when we was crazy. Like his love is constant, it's unconditional. So it's not based on merit, it's not based on condition, it's not based on if we're in the church or if we're in the club. His love remains, and the question is, are we receiving his love? I should start talking about this. I started talking about the good news of Christ and what he did for us while we were yet sinners. Don't forget that. While you were yet clubbing, while you were yet sleeping around, while you were yet doing you, Christ died for us. Like, he loves you in spite of your mess. And so just kind of breaking down tradition, man, and this, all of these laws that we put in place of you got to look like this, you got to act like this, you got to speak like this to be loved by God, which is a bunch of foolishness. But as I just was sharing just the truth, the unadulterated truth of who God is and how he loves us, man, the students, I'm telling y'all, they were just walking up and just standing around. I felt like almost like a Sermon on a Mount type thing, where how people were just coming up just to hear the message. That literally happened today. Total strangers were just walking up and just standing around, and it just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And we literally did a prayer and asked, for those who wanted to either receive Christ for the first time or those who wanted to rededicate their lives to Christ. And I'm not saying this to boast that, we're doing something big in Charlotte, but simply just to say, like, the gospel is good by itself. And we come up with all these cool, series and all this different stuff. We do it too. Everybody do it. But I want to remind pastors and remind preachers that the gospel is good by itself. Jesus said in his word, he said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw men. And I saw that today with my own eyes. He was lifted up. All we did was talk about just the naked truth of his love covers a multitude of sin. We talked about how he came and died. And I'm telling y'all, people who probably wouldn't normally come to your church, people who look like they just got finished doing whatever, were just walking up and standing around and hearing the message, and they were engaged and intrigued, and the message by itself provided hope. So anyway, wanted to share that with you all, man, just to remind you, man, that the red letters still got enough power to change a generation. And so stick with the word, be creative, be innovative, do what you're doing, but just don't forget, man, the gospel is good all by itself. So love y'all. I'll be back soon.